Should I say that I don't know the date, or should I just not say a date? I just won't say a date. TJ and I were staying in this hotel that I feel like I've dreamed about before. We were staying there because we had to go to the veterinarian nearby, even though we didn't have a pet. There was a picture in the hotel that I said I remembered taking when I was little, which was just a picture of a dog statue. June 6th, 2022. I got hit by a car and the top of my head came off and no one would take me to the hospital. Olivia was driving the car. June 9th, 2022. I had to fight Jason Voorhees 12 times and something different happened every time. On the final time, he turned into a cat. At Bar Louie, a black room with a balcony area. They were hosting a 24-hour shut-in party. I was there with many friends, Evan and Mole, Sam, Jacob, Giovanna, and other people I don't know, but knew they were my friends. Possibly actors. It was someone's birthday, I think Finn, but they were mad at something and didn't want to celebrate. People started being killed at the party and no one could get out. People all turned on each other and started to suspect one another of being the killer. Eventually my friends split into two groups, sitting in circles on the floor where they could all keep an eye on each other. And I had to choose a group to trust. I chose a group with less people in it and sat by a girl with light brown hair who may have been an actor in a childhood movie. We were all given pieces of paper that had a multiple choice question asking us how we wanted to get out. The options for escape were A, gun, B, piece of gum, and C, piece of paper. I think I chose the piece of gum. It didn't matter as I was up in the balcony area and found a back door leading into a dark stairwell that went out the back. I went out the stairwell and into a back alley, not knowing that one of the killers was hiding in the stairs. I then realized that there were two killers. The girl I sat next to earlier and this man, who had a fedora, black hair, a mustache, and was quite thin. Once in the back alley, it turned into what felt like a video game selection, where I had to choose a place to hide, one of the options being behind a large bush. I chose to hide there, and waited long enough for the man to go back inside, or so I thought. I started to make my way from the bush to a town in the distance that was behind a large hill. Once I made it to the hill, I realized that the man was following me and had caught up with me. He stabbed me in the abdomen once and then left back for the Bar Louie building. I was laying on the hill and I could feel the warm blood spilling out of my stomach and starting to come up through my body and out of my mouth. I wasn't dead yet, so I decided to keep crawling towards the town. Every movement from here on out was me crawling with my hands. As I got closer to the town, I realized that everything was closed. I was shouting for help, hoping someone was around. I feel like I saw a few people who ignored me. Someone finally called the police for me and an ambulance showed up. But when the ambulance got close enough, I saw something on the side of the van that told me it was not an ambulance and was in fact a service that would tear me apart and stitch me up or something, maybe pump my stomach. An older woman got out of the car in scrubs and a bun and started to come over to me. I started screaming and attempting to get away from her. I got to a fenced-in forest and tried to go in. She told me not to because there was a cat in there. I went in and the cat attacked me, so I left. This left enough time for her to get to me, and something, I don't think it was her, started to tear my face and skin off. There was lots of bright red blood, and I was screaming. November 10th, 2025. Someone's decapitated head was in my brown Vera Bradley backpack, and I needed to dump it. I ended up putting it inside multiple bags/objects like a Russian nesting doll in the hopes that no one would find it. At the dump, there was a line of people dumping things and guards inspecting what people were dumping. I began to get nervous that they would find it. I think the dream ended with me walking away as they were inspecting my fridge, head inside. They were yelling something at me, suggesting that they found the head. December 2nd, 2024. Following Nate from psych class into a large marble room. Feels like a bank or a train station, but has a big cafe instead, making coffee and bagels. On the left side, there's a large opening where Nate is entering. It leads to two rooms with enormous art pieces. Directly inside is a blue and black painting of what looks like Jesus, many holes in his chest, and he is looking at the bottom left corner with an expression of despair. Turning to the right, there is a room with 2 tall statues on either side of the entrance. They look like Egyptian statues of cat people. In this room, the walls are bright red and blue marble, extremely bright and vibrant. There is one painting with tons of people doing various things, like in a Renaissance painting. Nate is looking at the painting. Flash forward to what I believe to be the next day, and I am following him again as he enters the room of paintings. However, this time he falls to the ground just before entering. I believe he is dead, but no one else takes any notice. Now, still, in the large peach marbled cafe room, the 3rd day. Someone asks me if the cafe is usually busy, and I say it is in the mornings and the weekends because obviously everyone goes to the cafe on Sundays. I am facing the entrance to the cafe for the first time and look to my left to see Nate floating in and out of a painting, like a ghost. I am shocked and go over to investigate. Around him there are other people and one person dressed in a strange animal costume. This person explains to me that Nate has performed some kind of animal ritual to be able to do this.